Welcome to SOS Media, your number one source of the latest news, opinions, and in-depth investigations that dig deeper into today's developing stories around the globe. In any legal proceedings, it is highly irregular and unethical for a district court to threaten a defendant against appealing its sentencing judgment. The right to appeal is a fundamental aspect of due process in many legal systems, including those in the United States. Threatening a defendant for exercising their right to appeal would not only be a violation of their rights, but could also constitute judicial misconduct. Unfortunately, such statements were always reiterated by the prosecution during R. Kelly's sentencing in Chicago. If a defendant feels that their rights have been violated or that the sentencing judgment is unjust, they have the right to appeal to a higher court. This is an important mechanism for ensuring that legal proceedings are fair and just. We should also appreciate the fact that if a defendant believes they have been threatened by a judge or any other party involved in the legal process, they could seek legal counsel immediately to address the issue and protect their rights. Additionally, they may file a complaint against the judge with the appropriate judicial oversight body. R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years for racketeering and 20 more in the Chicago case, most of which is expected to be served concurrently. He is currently in custody at a federal correctional institute at Butner in North Carolina. R. Kelly's attorney Jennifer Bonjean was before a federal appeals court on Thursday to expose the legal flaws that marred his case and convince justices to throw out the wrong and unjust convictions for the alleged involvement with minors. Among R. Kelly's strong legal stand remains the clear fact that the charges against him were filed after the statute of limitations had expired. R. Kelly's 20-year sentence was unduly harsh and the charges should have been tried separately from the other counts he faced. The brief arguments that happened Thursday morning marked the latest phase in R. Kelly's long legal search for justice, which culminated in the convictions out of Chicago's federal court and a separate guilty verdict in a federal racketeering case in Brooklyn. Bonjean's submission were very clear and backed by various legal requirements and guidelines, and her explanations understandable even to the common man. Arguments in the Brooklyn appeal are scheduled for next month, March 2024. During the Chicago legal proceedings, R. Kelly had found himself placed in a precarious situation when, together with attorney Bonjean, received intimidating threats regarding his intention to appeal his judgment. But despite of these intimidation tactics directed at him, he together with Bonjean stood firm in his resolve to seek justice through the legal system. With the unwavering support of his legal counsel, he embarked on the journey of challenging the sentencing decision handed down by Judge Lynon Weber of the District Court, and the result of this is what are all now witnessing, optimistic that justice will now prevail. The District Court had suggested that R. Kelly would be worse off if he went ahead to appeal its judgment, and for sure such utterances had then cast a shadow of uncertainty over his pursuit of justice, but he refused to succumb to fear or coercion. Together with his unrelenting lawyer Jennifer, they meticulously documented the flaws, lies and misinterpretations of the law, recognizing the gravity of the situation and the importance of preserving evidence of such misconduct. Their decision to proceed with the appeal was not merely an act of defiance but a testament to their unwavering commitment to upholding the principles of fairness and due process. It is also worth noting that the arguments at the 7th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals have, as it is expected, been short, with R. Kelly's attorney Bonjean and prosecutors each getting 15 minutes to make their claims, but fortunately R. Kelly relied on the expertise of his legal team to meticulously guide him through argument. Bonjean proved to have meticulously prepared their case, leaving no stone unturned in their quest to overturn the unjust judgment earlier handed down by the District Court. The allegations remain that R. Kelly abused 3 girls in the 1990s when the law allowed prosecutors to bring such charges until the victims turned 25. Congress in 2003 expanded the statute of limitations up until the victim's death, but R. Kelly's attorney Jennifer Bonjean reasonably argues in her appellate brief that lawmakers never intended that amendment to apply retroactively. Prosecutors could not have brought these charges any later than 2009, Bonjean said. Jennifer Bonjean's briefings also soundly argue that the charges against R. Kelly should have been split into separate groups, the CP count of alleged abuse of Jane, and the enticement counts involving Nia and Pauline. Finally, Bonjean asked the appellate court to grant R. Kelly a new sentencing hearing, convincingly arguing that there was no justification for a prison term above federal guideline. U.S. District Judge Harry Leinenweber gave R. Kelly a 20-year sentence, all but 1 year of which will be served concurrently with his 30-year sentence out of Brooklyn. We the R. Kelly supporters are very pleased with what we are seeing today. R. Kelly's arguments have for sure exposed a lot of non-required cracks in the United States judicial system, and it for sure isn't going to end here. We are also optimistically waiting for the New York case oral argument next month before we can then wait for utmost 6 months or less to get the feedback from the appeal judges. We know this is the time for R. Kelly's freedom, and this is for sure beginning to take shape. I remain confident that we shall not in this case have time to think about the Supreme Court of this land. With all the Bonjean documentation, everything remains clear. R. Kelly is coming home. Despite the initial threats by the district courts for R. Kelly not to appeal, everything is now obvious that justice is at last going to prevail. We would like R. Kelly to maintain faith in the strength of his legal arguments, the expertise of his legal representation, and the fairness of the legal system. His courage and determination throughout this process has not gone unnoticed, and we are confident that the complete truth will emerge in due course. We would like to re-emphasize to R. Kelly the fact that as you navigate the complexities of the appeal process, remember that you are not alone. Your friends, family, and supporters are standing beside you, offering their unwavering support. Lean on this network for strength and encouragement during these challenging times. We should also note that after the oral argument, the court deliberates on the case considering oral arguments, written submissions, and applicable laws. A written opinion is then issued detailing the court's decision, legal reasoning, and any dissenting opinions. The decision is formalized in a judgment or order concluding the case. If dissatisfied, parties may still have the right to appeal. Enforcement of the judgment may be necessary, and the case concludes with compliance or resolution of legal obligations. The process and timelines can vary based on jurisdiction and court type. We do remain optimistic that these appeal proceedings will be able to highlight the flaws that have marred all the R. Kelly cases, and subsequently grant him his long-waited for and deserved freedom. We want R. Kelly's freedom sooner than later. As we continue to witness new developments occurring towards R. Kelly's appeal proceedings, we can just stay optimistic that this time around, the relevant truth will be put into consideration. This is the ray of hope that makes us keep our breath and hold. We believe R. Kelly and his legal team will be able to outline all the injustices, misinterpretations of the law, cases of lying and witness tampering that have marred all R. Kelly's legal proceedings, and that the law, truth, and justice will this time along prevail. It has been a long wait, and we can't wait any longer to see R. Kelly regain his deserved freedom. Thank you for watching today's video brought to you by SOS Media. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos. Also remember to leave your comment about today's topic in the comment section below.